Our first plan of the day is to visit the Osaka castle. It is in fact one of the tourist attractions, and this castle obviously has a rich history, and it is supposed to play a big part in the unification of the Japanese during the 16th century. As soon as you exit the subway, the first landmark you'll notice is the Osaka Museum. If you're wondering, it takes about 10 minutes to reach Osaka Castle from the subway station. As you can see, it wasn't the best weather. It rained most of the morning and the sky was pretty gray, but that obviously didn't stop us from heading to the Osaka Castle. At least the rain stopped when we exited the subway station. There were still plenty of people heading towards the castle, and the weather was cooler after the rain. It worked out well for us. Walking along the side, you can see the castle surrounded by water. It's pretty cool to see the Osaka castle standing right in the center. Man, this place looks super alive, even though it was totally pouring that day. Now that I'm checking out the footage again, I noticed the water had this weird greenish tint. But wow, everything looks so green, and the whole atmosphere just feels incredibly fresh and crisp. Check out this map. The Osaka Castle is smack in the middle, totally surrounded by water. Pretty clever design, right? They basically made it super tough for anyone to sneak in without being spotted. Looks like we are approaching the entrance of the castle, and it took us at least 15 to 20 minutes to get here. It is a long walk to the castle. Right by the entrance, there's this place that looks like a museum or something. We snapped a few pictures, and the place is packed with kids. Look like a school field trip is happening. These kiddos are everywhere. There's definitely some kind of popular hangout spot or waiting area nearby. Okay, we can totally see the castle from here now, but man, it's still pretty far away. Looks like we got more walking to do. Let's keep moving and get closer. You can see I'm not the only tourist here. This place is packed. Yeah, the walk to the Osaka Castle is pretty long, but honestly, totally worth it. It's a pretty awesome experience overall. Now we can totally see the Osaka Castle from here. At last, we are really close. I guess it's time to snap more photos and videos like most tourists do. Now let's take a look at the castle. After spending most of the morning exploring Osaka Castle, it was time for lunch. We decided to check out a restaurant recommended by a YouTube video. Honestly, I wasn't sure if it would live up to the hype, but we went with it anyway. Finding the place wasn't easy since it wasn't located in a touristy area, but rather in a more local commercial district. Despite the challenges, we were intrigued and decided to make the trip. Finding this restaurant was a total nightmare. We were wandering around forever, and there was definitely a point where we were like, should we just give up? But we're stubborn, we kept at it. We had no idea where we headed and just kept following Google Maps, but we found ourselves circling around an unfamiliar area. I suppose it turned out into an impromptu sightseeing adventure in a non-tourist office district in Osaka. Looking back now, what a fun and memorable experience it turned out to be. It seems we got close, but it took us a while to realize that the restaurant was a bit different from what we saw on Google. It doesn't open during the daytime, so it looks like we have to return in the evening and give it another shot. In the meantime, we found a nearby local restaurant serving curry. We heard great things about Japanese curry, so we decided to give it a try since we were pretty hungry and hadn't had lunch yet. It turned out to be really good. Looking back at the menu, the prices are pretty good, between 850 to 1,000 yen. It also features manga in this curry restaurant. The portions were quite generous, and if I remember correctly, they offer a choice of chicken or pork. The dish looked incredible, though a bit large, and was beautifully topped with cheese. The curry sauce was subtle and well balanced, not too overpowering. This is the close-up, and it was served quite hot, but it was quite good though. Not too sure what that was, but I assume it's some sort of radish. Here is the exterior of the curry shop, Indie, and it has a genuinely authentic vibe. After lunch, my wife and daughter set off on their adventure at a Peppa Pig themed cafe. Since I wasn't particularly interested, I decided to explore Shinsekai on my own. This nostalgic tourist spot, once popular before Dontobori rose to fame, gave me the perfect opportunity for some solo exploring. I found it quite fascinating and enjoyed the experience. On the way to Shinsekai, you might come across some Chinese street performances to enjoy. Honestly, the streets and shops in Shinsekai are somewhat similar to Dontobori, but you can tell it has a more old-fashioned charm. The key differences is that Shinsekai features more classic games and attractions, whereas Dontobori focuses primarily on restaurants and trendy shops with little to no gaming options. For example, you can find a unique game where you can sit and enjoy the Japanese archery. There are also several classic games here which make the experience quite intriguing. As you can see, there are plenty of authentic Japanese restaurants and many people are enjoying the local cuisine, though it's a bit hard to tell exactly what they're having. I noticed quite a few of these games around the area. Essentially, you're given a toy gun to shoot at prizes. A true classic and quite old school, but I love it. Shinsekai is packed with tons of quick bites and super cool street food. You'll find all kinds of awesome snacks that keep your taste buds happy. Man, these arcades are totally old school and retro. If you're my generation, you totally get the nostalgia hit. It's like stepping into a time machine that brings back a lot of awesome memories. Seriously, this place just makes me super happy. Similar to Tondobori, Shinsekai also offer a wide variety of yakitori and kuchiyaki, depending on your preferred type of meat. In short, you find plenty of Japanese food options to enjoy. So I guess I'm officially in Shinsekai. It is somewhat similar to Tondobori. It seems like here is a little bit more entertaining. There's tons of games, as you can see here. And the reason why I'm here alone, because my wife actually went with my daughter to see those little Peppa Pigs like in somewhere else. So I have time for myself and explore this. What is this place again? Sensekai. And apparently there is a tower here that is the landmark. I'll see if I can find it somewhere here. Let's explore together. Let's go. Hopefully I can find the tower somewhere nearby. It seems this place is older than the original Dontobori in Osaka. There's definitely a back alley where you notice fewer people. Perhaps I'm just here too early. Many shops are either not open yet or possibly closed permanently. It's hard to tell. You also find some hotels tucked away in the back alley as well. Shinsekai definitely feels more vintage compared to Tondobori. It got this totally different older school vibe that's really unique. You can just tell this place has some serious history to it. We're heading towards the Sutenkaku Tower. It's right in the heart of Shinsekai, which literally means New World. Honestly, I can't even pronounce Sutenkaku to save my life, so I'm just calling it the Shinsekai Tower. As we get closer, the place is coming to life. More people, more tourists, and it's starting to feel a lot like Tondobori. You know, the kind of spot with crazy themed restaurants and places decked out with wild characters and crazy decorations. The energy is totally picking up. You can even find a modern place here. Yes, it is looking like more and more like Tondobori with many more people and a lot more stuff going on. Looks like we are closer to the tower, and it is much busier and livelier. So this is the tower. This place is massive. Shinsekai's got this quiet little pocket with some little quirky shops tucked away. Not everything is super busy. There are these cool low-key areas that feel like hidden gems waiting to be discovered. I also stumbled upon the Shinsekai Market, which has a unique atmosphere with its old world charm and historic market vibe. Honestly, it feels like an old vintage market selling a mix of random items from clothing to miscellaneous goods. However, there are quite a few empty shops, suggesting it might be struggling a bit. Despite that, I absolutely love the vibe of this place. Look, I even found a Hong Kong style restaurant inside here at Sekai. In the back alley, you come across some hotels or old apartments buildings, and you can also catch a view of the tower from here. Finally, we united with my wife and daughter for dinner. We returned to the restaurant we had planned to visit earlier in the afternoon. Here's the menu, and the food prices were quite reasonable, ranging from 1,000 to 1,800 yen. Honestly, I wasn't entirely sure what kind of food this restaurant served, since the menu was entirely in Japanese. This restaurant atmosphere caters primarily to locals rather than tourists, which is why the menu is entirely in Japanese with no English. However, I really enjoy the vibe. It's refreshing to experience a local spot and get a glimpse of what it's like. Here's the first dish. It looks something quite delicious and sizzling, but really I have no clue what it is. After several attempts with the Google Translate, it seems that most of the items here on the menu are some type of animal organs, which I'm not familiar with. Personally, I'm not a fan of organ meats. If I had done my research beforehand, I probably wouldn't have come to try it. I guess that's the rookie mistake. We had no idea what we ordered. It's all a surprise. I think this was one of the safest choice since it's packed with vegetables and it tastes pretty good. And in the pot you also find some kind of meat and organs, which is quite chewy and it does take some time to cook. Finally, it's boiling. While it wasn't exactly what we'd expected, that's part of the experience of dining in a non-tourist area. At least now I know what it is, and apparently the locals love this type of food. However, I don't think I'll be coming back for a second round. It's been a long day. See you in the next video as we continue exploring Osaka.